What's up, players? It's YourTotalWarMaster, and today I'll be talking a bit about Rome Remastered and how to fix some of the bigger issues that the game has. Now, I do not only want to be hating on this game, I respect the developers, I respect the idea, I think their heart is at the right place, so I don't want to be the guy who only hates on it. I think there are massive good things they've done about it, but sadly some of the problems that the game has break the game for me. So I think some of the things they actually have already fixed because I sent a bug report yesterday and that thing is fixed. So yeah, I don't want to be hating. I want to love this game and I want to make it better. That's why I'm making this video, not just to hate. Let's go. Okay, so coming in as number 5 is fixing the unit cards of particularly the Roman factions. You could argue for other ones as well, but I think the most notable one are the Roman factions. Now, there is a mod already, I think actually 2 or more mods, that actually revert the unit cards back to the original ones, which I'm actually using when I play, even though I don't play a lot of Rome Total Remastered right as of right now. But when I do play it, I use the mod for the old unit cards. So I guess you could say, okay, just use the mod. Yeah, sure, but what we could also get is maybe try and make the unit cards and get them updated. I'm fine with not having the original ones, but I do want the unit cards to be distinguished between each other much better. If we look at the Roman infantry over here, I don't think that they're distinguished enough from each other. I feel like it's kind of hard to see which one is who. Like, if you ask me, I don't know the difference between these two. Like, if I don't put a mouse over it, it's hard for me to say who is who. So this is early legionary cohort and legionary cohort. Okay, so it's hard, you know, it's really hard to see because I think that in the original ones the differences between the cavalry and the infantry and between the archers were much better. One of the most significant things is for me the color of the horses. In the remastered, every horse on the unit card is the same color, while in the original one we had different colors. We had I think let's just take the generals away. I think Equites were black, Roman cavalry was brown, and then I think legionary cavalry was brown and Praetorian cavalry was black. While cavalry auxilia, okay, they don't really count because you can see that they are different units. But for these 4, it would be so great if we could again get the Equites being black horses, Roman cavalry being brown horses, legionary cavalry again brown, and Praetorian black, because it just makes them distinguishable much easier and faster. Now, of course, if you go into detail, okay, yeah, this guy is leaning forwards, this guy is not leaning forwards, okay, this guy is slightly more armored, this guy has that thing on his helmet, okay, you know, it's, yeah, but it's so hard to see. If we just make the colors of the horses different, it's easily distinguishable. Similar for the archers, like in the original, like these guys are, I think they're actually the same models with the helmet and with the skirt. Why? It's so hard to like distinguish between them, and I think that they were just more distinguishable. You can easily, like, I see a picture of a unit card from Rome 1, I immediately know which unit it is. Over here, like, if you say, okay, which one is, let's say this one, I'm covering the part where it says which one is. So this one it's probably urban cohort, right? Yeah, it is urban cohort, but just because I have them in order, if it mixed them, it'd be much harder to see. So I think not just reverting to the original unit cards would be a good idea, which also could be a good idea, but maybe going, you know, a step beyond and actually trying to update these unit cards for them to be more distinguishable between each other. The next thing I'd like to talk is how the settings are really hard to see. Did you actually know that it is actually possible to have 3 teams? You do not know that? You can actually do this? And wait, how can I, like, if I do something like this, I think I can make, let me see. It's actually possible to get more teams. Like, I'm not actually even 100% sure how you do that. I think I actually need to maybe go and, no, this is good. See, I found out how you're supposed to do it, and I still forgot how you actually get 3 teams. I can't even remember. But do I have to put them all on attack? Yeah, okay, see, like that. Oh my god. You first have to put them all on attack and then get another team. Like, it's so hard to see things. Like, legit, like, the settings are really, like, hidden. This is like, you need to go here. Okay, like audio setting, control settings. Like, I don't know what this exactly is, but okay, whatever. But even like if you go into a new game, Imperial Campaign, did you know that you can actually go up here and swap them over here? It took me some time to figure that out. The menu is really like, it's hiding a lot of things, which I don't think is particularly well. There were a lot of things I didn't know, like especially this thing. It took me 14 days and watching a video from Melkor that I figured out that they can actually have more teams. Like, why? Just why, man? I don't know, it's really kind of dumb to do that. So yeah, I think just the settings overall are really weirdly kind of given to you. It's so hard to see things, so yeah, I think that definitely needs an update. So as number 3 is the campaign map. Now I know I talked about this like a fucking million times already, but Iberia looks awful. This part looks good. Britain looks good. I'm not gonna say it. This now already looks weird. Too much of bright green. Anatolia looks decent. This part of Egypt and Seleucia look good. Italy looks... Pannonia is... Greek, well, south of Greece is fine, but like the whole Balkans, it's just too bright. The background is too bright, and these colors don't stand out enough. The colors of units, the colors of settlements, the colors of agents, the colors of boats. Like, this is on 0 now, I think. The what's it called? The brightness. Sorry, not the brightness. Where is it? Where do I have to go? Is it gameplay settings? Ah, here it is. Like, see, it was at 0. If I do this, it's even like worse. But if I go back to 0, I don't know. It just looks too bright for me, and the units are not popping out enough. It just doesn't feel good. Like, okay, if I have a unit over here, like, this looks good. It's not the best, but it still looks relatively good. Like, can I see an army that's standing somewhere? Like if you look at over here, you can clearly see Dam as a settlement. And if you go over here, like, how hard is to see this? And why is the Brutier color so sad? Like, okay, let's put it back, vibrancy, maybe let's put it back up. 200. The Brutier still looks, this green looks so sad. Like, it's not bright green. Like, I don't understand. They made the background too bright, and they made the units and armies and... sorry, not the units. The armies, the boats, the agents, the settlements too dark. They made reversely of what I want. I want, and I think many people want, the background to be a bit more boring. Like, let's put that back down. Also, I don't know why I always have to go through that. Why it doesn't just save where I was last time. So, they need to make the background more boring, more with less saturation of the color, and like this, like the color of Spain, what's it called, the flag, it just doesn't pop out. Carthage, it looks so dull. Like, it's weird because it looks dull and too bright at the same time. Why? Because the background is too bright and too vibrant, while all the units on the board, you could say, so settlements, agents, armies, boats, they just look dull because they don't have enough vibrancy. That doesn't make sense. Why can't we just, I mean, if we could have a separate separate toggle or this thingy to put the campaign map on even less than now, on fucking minus 50% or whatever, and the units to, well, not units, maybe units is the wrong word, basically all the pieces of like your like armies, your settlements, all these things. I'm gonna call them units from now on. Your units to be more bright, that'd be great. Because like even the Julia, they look so sad. In the original, the color of the flags were much brighter. It's much easier to see. Now people were criticizing that it looks too cartoony. It doesn't look too cartoony because of the flags or the units. It looks too cartoony because of the campaign map. So we need to tone down the campaign map and tone up the flags and the units and the settlements. I think that like the SPQR, look how sad their color looks like. And even if again I go back to campaign vibrancy to 100, to be honest, it doesn't change the flags that much as it changes the background. So I don't know. And also like the Brutia color is so sad to me. I don't know why. Like it's not even green. I mean it is green, but it's like this grayish green, which I don't like. It's too close. Like it's similar to the Rebel one. Well, in the original, this was properly bright green, and this was it as it is. Like if I could compare it, whereas like proper green, I don't know. It was like almost okay, maybe not as bright as this, but as this, you know, gold, the line, the border of gold, right? Almost as that, but look how sad it looks here. That needs changing for sure. Up next is the campaign user interface. Now, in an ideal world, we will get a mod that will give us the classic UI, or they will actually decide that maybe the changing of the UI was a bad idea and they give us the old UI. Now, while that would be a great option, there are other options as well, making this one work. First of all, the idea of this kind of alerts is wrong. This kind of needs to be reverted because it's just too many clicks. Same goes for trying to build things. Why? Like, I click this. Okay, so imagine that you're playing the original. You click on the settlement, and then you can either decide to get units or get buildings with one click. There was this army buildings. You right click on that, and you basically get what you want. You get this or this. Right? But if I do it over here, like, let's say this is the kind of the same, like, because units, construction, units, agents, like, if I press this, it doesn't give me this thing over here. So, I don't know why. So there's actually one extra click. So, one click, so you do that, and let's say I want to build stuff, I have to click this, and then this, and then get this. Like, why is this not immediately popping out? Like, if I click this and I'm on construction, I want this to be over here. Also, I want this to be bigger because this part of the UI is too big. Now, okay, let's turn it down then. I can do that, but the problem is if I turn down the UI. Now, for me, okay, this is maybe too small. Let's say I put it on 100. Okay, this is fine. This is fine for me. Like these three, these are great right now. I love them. The campaign map, too small. I don't think there's possible to make the campaign map larger and this stay the same. But when I click on this, holy shit, is this small? Like, I need these three things to stay the same, or at least actually no, I take that back. The middle one and the one on the left need to stay the same, while I want this on the right part and the campaign map to grow bigger. It's unproportionally. It's like the proportions are so weird. Like, look, if you compare how big this is, the barracks over here and the barracks over here, it's like, I don't know, it's probably like, what do I say, I don't know, 66% of the size. Maybe even less. Maybe it's 50%. So we need to make this bigger. Now, as I said, I don't despise the changing of the UI. I just want a good UI. So even if they like don't revert it to original one, I'm fine with that, as long as they make this one work. Now, another weird thing is, like, if I start building stuff and recruiting stuff, it actually fixes things. Like, let's say I click on this now, I can right click on construction. Sorry, I think it's left. It's actually left click, and then I can do that without that extra click. Why is this not here all the time? If this was here all the time, you save that one click and I would not have any any problems with it, because it saves you click. But no, if I'm not building anything and recruiting anything, I have to click this and then I can do this. And even if I need fucking glasses to see this almost, even though I have a perfect sight at the moment, I would still probably need glasses. And as I said, if I bring that back up to 120%, it still feels that this is almost this is almost a bit too small, and this is taking way too much space. Same for campaign map. I would like the campaign map to be slightly bigger. I don't know, is it even possible to make it bigger like in the original one? Because in the original one you had that plus, if you remember, right? You were able to click on that plus and it would zoom in. Here it's missing. I can click that and yeah, but it takes you to a completely another thing. I don't mind this thing. This thing is actually cool, like when you click on it. But still, I need that plus. Is it possible to get that freaking plus? I don't think it is. So the proportion of the UI is really weird, to be honest. As I said, I don't mind the changing of the UI, but I do want a good functioning UI that doesn't make you click more than in the old times and actually makes you see things. While still not taking up all of this space. Like I wouldn't mind, let's for example say that we go to UI size 100, which I like. This part of the UI is perfectly on 100. What would need to happen in my idea is that we click on this, and this either is much bigger or just has the same idea as in the original, that it actually like takes up a big part of the screen, because this is, for me, is just too small. Okay, so the next thing is that for God knows one reason, every time I go into the game, the default is remastered camera. So every time I want to go into game and I want to play in classic camera, I have to do this setting. So we're gonna be talking about the camera, because the camera control on classic camera is the worst thing ever. It is glitchy, it is unreasonably weird. Now, before we go to fix one thing in the game files, like I'll demonstrate you what I did. Or was it 65 or 75, something like that. I'll demonstrate you what exactly I did. So, okay, this looks good, right? If you play on your game and you haven't modified anything, what you will see, I'm just gonna demonstrate. Let's say you're still on the classic camera, but your field of view is gonna be like this, and you won't be able to see things like shit. Another thing, if you're like high up here and you switch from remastered to classic camera, you get this freaking glitch, and you're actually self-locked into it. So what you have to do, one way of fixing this, is then going back to the remastered camera, confirming, and then scrolling all the way in, going back to settings, go to the classic camera, and then you're back into this, and you can actually do stuff. All well until you double click on this. Wait, I have to go a bit further away. So until you double click on this, and oh, did they actually fix it? They might have fixed it. Okay, well that's actually good. I am on. Okay, well, props. Yesterday it was still fucked. That's good. Maybe I have to. Let me just double check this. Okay, it actually seems that they have fixed that, which, you know what? I'll give props to them. Good job. I actually sent them the report of this bug yesterday, and today it's already fixed. Okay, so, well, massive thanks to that. As I said, I don't want to be only hating on this game, because I want to love this game, so I guess they fixed it. But still, the camera, like the thing I just showed you, right? It should be able to, you should be able to see like I see right now. Not as how most people see, where they basically have this weird angle looking straight down. So yeah, I do applaud them for this. Thank you for fixing this. Because when I used to do this, it would actually send you directly. I'll show you into what. Into this. At least yesterday it was like this. I have a video on it, so I'm not making things up. But they seem to fix it. It would send you into this. So you know what? Massive props. Now this is still a bug that needs to be fixed for sure. But you know what? At least they fixed something. Now, if you go into this tactical map transition and confirm that you can actually get out of this, like this, But let's say you don't want to be playing on that, and then the game will just be doing that bullshit, and you actually are self-locked into it. So, as I said, props, they fixed that. I thank you very much. But yeah, the game should probably not start with that bug. But you know what? I'm not gonna hate on it too much. If they fix it, thank you. It's good. It's actually playable. The classical camera is not actually playable. So yeah, massive props to that. Okay, so this is a sped up of the problem that they had yesterday. Basically, as said, if you had the transition into the tactical map off, you were basically kind of stuck in this situation. When you double clicked on the unit and you're on your UI to go to it, like to quickly move to it, and then you moved your mouse to the side of the camera, um, they basically the game actually got you into tactical camera even though you didn't have it turned on, and then you're basically just stuck in it. Okay, so this is it for this video. As said, Feral, I want you guys to do a good game, and I think you can do, because I think the Feral guys are like, they seem amazing, to be honest. They want to do good, but maybe they just need a bit help from us players, and well, hopefully someone will see this video and see, well, maybe these are some good ideas. Anyways, thanks for watching, hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to enjoy Black Barmaid, like and subscribe, and comment down below. You can join me in Discord and Facebook. You can support my Patreon if you want, and yeah, till next time, fuck off.